What is up, YouTube? Sciz1 here. Big news. I'm back. That was the big news. Anyway, it's been a couple weeks now since I streamed. I was gonna try and do a sticker sesh Saturday yesterday, but I was dead. There was no way it was gonna happen. I figured, like, if I was as tired as I was yesterday, there would be no positive reason for me to do a stream. It just would not have worked. And I had been up for, by the end of the day yesterday, I had been up for almost 70 hours straight, long story short. So, yeah. What's up? I'm doing good off. I'm a little more rested now. I'm happy to be back here, finally. So it feels like forever since I've had, well, done a large amount of stickers, so I'm doing a few today. How are you guys? I haven't seen you guys in a long time, that's for sure. And I apologize for that. Starting off with some tags. It's always nice to get a few tags down. I feel bad when I get, like, really nice stickers and I just tag on them, because it almost feels like if you're using the sticker for, like, less than 10 seconds, you're wasting it, but, like, stickers are one of the best places you can just lay down some tags and go with the flow a little bit and just sort of mindlessly practice. Sometimes that's the best way. But yeah, a couple things I wanted to show you guys, which I will show you in 1 second. One of which is an article, actually. I made the paper. One of my pieces, a mural I did in my city, made the paper. Which is strange, because it's not a new one that I did. It is, like, a couple years old. I did it in 2016. And just now an article came out about it. Well, a couple weeks ago now. I just didn't have a stream between now and then. But, yeah. It's gonna look really bad quality. That is not me. But yeah, I did a mural. I hate to even look at it now because it's so damn bad. But that's an old one I did on the back of a boxing club, sort of near where I am. So that's for some reason in the paper. But it is actually in the paper as an example of, like, how the city near me wants to make some of their alleyways, like, into public attractions. So I'm glad to sort of be, like, a staple for what they want to try and create. That's super nice. Yeah. But, to answer your question, believe it or not, right now I don't directly make any money from AdSense or YouTube, and that is because nowadays when you start a channel, or even when you've already had a channel for a long time, they implemented a requirement in January of 2018 that said you need 4,000 hours of watch time per year for them to even consider paying you. Before that, I had been making money, but what happens is, I guess, 4,000 hours a year ends up being like you need 12 hours or 11 hours and 6 minutes of watch time every single day of your videos. And I was slightly under that, and since I had one point been over it, but I mean, with school, it's fucking hard to upload regularly enough. But streaming is really helping that. But yeah, nowadays, if you want to make money, like, directly from YouTube, you have to have a pretty well-established channel, actually. But other ways, what I try and do because generally it's pretty well known that if you want to do YouTube as a living, like, you're gonna need to do more than just make money from YouTube, because YouTube pays like really poorly in terms of ads. But other ways I make money from YouTube are I sell all my art on here, obviously, more on Instagram, but I try and sell as much of my art because that's really what I want to do for a living, right, as an artist. And I also make a little bit by, hopefully by donations from streams and stuff like that when that's available to me. Also, I was thinking about, because, like, paid subscriptions are an offer that most channels have, and once I'm monetized, that's a thing, but I'm like, okay, that's stupid. I don't want people to have to pay to watch my stuff. But I was thinking that, like, if people were interested, what I could offer is, like, all my videos would still be available for free and everything, and just if people wanted to do a paid subscription, I could do, like, one monthly, like, one-on-one lesson with them if they want to, like, improve their graffiti and stuff like that. But I always want my channel to be like a place where everyone can come, which is hard when YouTube makes it so hard to make your content worth enough that you have time to make good content. But yeah, long story short, I mean, I know that was a long answer to your question off, but yeah. Yeah, if I ramble on a lot today about random stuff, it's just because I'm so freaking tired that I have no idea what I am talking about. Actually off. If you want to, the general rule is per 1,000 views. Everyone says, like, per how many views, what are you going to make? And that's sort of a dumb way to compare, because you can make, like, when someone clicks on an ad on your video, you can make, like, $3 from it, or you can make, like, 0.3 cents. Like, it could be completely worthless. But the general rule is, hey, Rob48, what's up? The general rule is, like, per 1,000 views, you're probably going to get amount of clicks on your ads that add up to roughly $2 or $3, so it's pretty poor. Pretty damn poor. So if, like, you even go to gigantic channels that have millions of views and try and add up, like, a channel with 3 million views, which isn't big or anything, would have, by that rule, they would have 1,000 goes into, so when they'd have like 3,000 thousands, and that would only be $9,000 altogether. So, like, if you want to think of it that way. Right now, Billy, there will not be, or there shouldn't be, any ads on any of my videos. Like, I mean, in my videos. Like, on the sidebars and under them, there is, but as far as, like, in my actual videos, like at the end and the beginning of the videos, I shouldn't have any because I'm not monetized. But when I was monetized, YouTube would pick, pretty much. You have control over, like, how long you want them to be. Like, if you want only ads on your videos that are, like, non-skippable 4-minute ads, you can put that, but then obviously no one's gonna watch your videos because you're forcing people to watch a 4-minute long ad or something that they can't skip. So, like, when I was monetized, the only options I had were, what I had it set to was I only want skippable ads or ads under 30 seconds to be shown. But yeah, generally they pick for you. Yeah, you're right. They should sort of let other people pick. And that's sort of a concern because a lot of companies, or a lot of like, a lot of streamers and YouTubers, they don't want specific ads showing up, and because like some ads are actually like not really appropriate, and YouTube's pretty good about like figuring out which ones they shouldn't be showing and which ones they are, but every now and then you get like a really horrifically bad ad showing up on your videos, and a lot of YouTubers have complained. They're like, we don't want to be associated with this. Why are you advertising like bad stuff on our channel? You know, it makes us look bad. And also too, a lot of like, I mean, the most recent controversy with big advertisers pulling out was Disney. Disney pulled out of like all YouTube advertising altogether because they were worried about their stuff being advertised on videos where there were like child predators, and that turned into a big fuss. So yeah, you're right. If like the advertisers get to choose where they advertise their stuff, but generally like the YouTuber has to just put up with it. And like the YouTuber has no power to say like what kind of stuff they don't really want on their stuff, and that's purely because like most YouTubers aren't making enough money to have that kind of power, which sucks. Rob, the best markers I have are definitely my Copic ones. Nowadays for sketching, I have these nice Copic sketch markers, and I really like them. They're a brush tip on one side and a chisel tip on the other side. So they're really nice. I like them. I also have a lot of brush markers like this. These are Pigma. I have like fine liner Pilot markers that I also am a big fan of. Can't count out those. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Billy. They, like, YouTubers know their audience best. But the idea is that since Google tracks you, they see what you search all the time, and they can advertise stuff to you based on what you search. So, for example, me, I'm looking at graffiti videos often enough on YouTube, and I've been on Bombing Science. So what they do is most of the time at the sidebars of YouTube, they're going to show Bombing Science ads. If I had it my way, I would make it so that if you're watching one of my videos, there's an ad for Bombing Science pretty much all the time, or like some other graffiti related thing. Or ideally like buying some of my stuff, that would be great, but of course they're not gonna let me do that. Yeah. That's a very good example, Billy. Yeah, like if you're vegan, you don't want McDonald's ads on your videos. Yeah, like, I don't know, I struggle to come up with examples because I'm not too particular about stuff, like, but yeah, that's a great example. Yeah, I think, as far as I know, I handled all the stuff I needed to do before I went away a couple weeks ago. I had a couple sales for sticker packs and stuff, and I got those sent out before I left. But if there is anyone watching this now or afterward that I owe stuff, send me a message on my email or on Instagram or on here, and I can sort that out for you. But as far as I know, I have everyone, and I'll be surprised if I don't. But yeah. In Barktrist, I have not heard of that. My local one, well, I say local, but like I get my stuff from Bombing Science because I live in Canada and they are Canadian, so it's the most convenient for me. But generally, I would say yes, do whichever shop is in your country at least or closest to you, because they're gonna, like, shipping ends up being making the difference between it being the best deal and the worst deal for you. So like, just because Bombing Science is the best deal for me doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the best deal for someone who lives across the world. Oh, Romania, yeah. Well, definitely get whichever one is your local one. Trying a little bit of like calligraphy stuff here. I don't know. I mean, it's not really calligraphy, but you know what I mean, sort of that style of stuff. I don't know how it's turning out too much, but I enjoy that a little bit. I'm always impressed when I am on the street and I see sort of a calligraphic tag or something similar. I like working with that kind of stuff. Yeah, so also wanted to mention the videos I did in Australia. They will be coming soon. I have to edit. There'll be a couple, well, one video probably coming out before the Australian ones. But they are on their way, and they are worth watching for sure. I am not going to say more than that about them. But, geez. Definitely some unexpected shit going down in those ones, I'll tell you that. Oh, Sumi brushes. Yeah, I've heard really good things about them. I don't have any of those. Where is the one? I have one really nice brush somewhere. Oh, here it is. I don't know what brand this is because it's written all in. I assume that is Japanese, but it's the nicest brush marker I have for sure. Unfortunately, I threw the packaging out too like an idiot, so I can't even tell you what brand it is. But yeah, brush markers are really fun for, they may not be the best for like tagging on the streets and stuff, but they are enjoyable for stickers and sketching for sure. You can do a lot of super good effects with them that sort of simulate spray paint on paper, which I really like. I'll show you a tag with this one afterwards. It's the most like, how would I put it? It's like an actual brush, whereas this one is like a foam thing, and that one's actual like hairs. So this one. Oh, Rob. That's the ultimate question, isn't it? But no, for me it's grog all the time. Crink I do not like because they're expensive and most writers are not that rich, so they should not be able to get away with charging like 3 times as much as every other company for a goddamn mop. That being said, I actually have a couple Crink things right here, and I'm going to be reviewing this soon. The only reason I would buy Crink stuff is to review it, and I have this one here, which I bought, and it turned out to be super defective. I can't figure out where the defect is, but it just leaks out of here. Like, squeezing it, before it gets to the top even, it will just all pour out of where the threads are, so it's totally defective. But Bombing Science hooked me up with another one, which is, in my opinion, the right thing to do if they're going to sell me a defective product that costs $15. So yeah, that'll be a review coming up soon, but grog I like because it's super permanent. Their paint smells amazing, for one. Believe it or not, that has a big effect on which paints I choose. Grog is my go-to. It flows really well. Their mops are nice. Molotow, I use the Molotow One for All markers, like, I'm sure you all know what they look like. I have a lot of the ones with the old design on them still, actually. But Molotow is my go-to choice for sketching markers, like on canvas. But grog for everything else, like metal and all that. But yeah, if there's one thing I do not really use, it's Crink. It's okay, but it's like, there's just cheaper options that are actually better. So why would I pay twice as much or 3 times as much? Yeah, no. But yeah. Yeah, this is the brush marker I was talking about, though. I'm trying to at least use it sort of like a brush marker for demonstration purposes, but I'm also not super inclined with these brush markers, so like, yeah, this is not good. I don't know, sometimes I'm in the zone of brush markers and they turn out really nice and whatever, and then other times it's like watching a 4-year-old play with them. Probably isn't the best kind of paper to be using them on in any case either. Yeah. Sorry about that. So... yes, Billy. One sec, I'm just refreshing my feed here. It's giving me problems. It does that. Irritating. So I'm gonna try another one now since you're mentioning that, Billy. Yeah, that's the thing, like, I started, this was, like, the first brush marker I got, so I'm like, ooh, cool, I want to learn how to use these a little bit better. And then I got all my, Copic markers, and they're a little bit easier to work with just because they're, like, spongy brush markers, but in general, I need a lot of practice with this stuff. Straight up and down, eh? gonna stick to that a little bit. Put some sort of points on the end of the letters. Am I doing it? No, I know, I'm not. Yeah, that's another thing I really like about these streams. Every now and then, well, not every now and then, I'm sure there's tons of very capable artists on here, but sometimes people come on who legitimately have super helpful things that they can tell me about stuff that I'm not good at, like this kind of stuff, and that's always super nice. So if anyone ever has advice for me, tell me. I will not be offended. Well, I managed to get a little bit of sharpness. That's the idea? Yeah, okay. Thank you for being honest. Alright, I'm gonna try another one here, because... Screw style for a minute, I gotta figure this shit out. It would help if I was less shaky, but being up for 70 hours straight and then sleeping one night is still not enough. You're gonna feel like crap, trust me. Eh. Rob, to answer your question, it's hard to talk about that on a public platform. A little bit. You can ask people that, but most of the time, the smart ones are gonna just not ignore the question. But the people who are quick to brag about how much illegal stuff they do, they're not the best graffiti artists anyway, you know? Like, I guess what I mean is, like, most people who are good graffiti artists are not gonna be posting all their stuff on YouTube, just because, to me, the point of, like, graffiti isn't to be well known. It's to, like, you should be doing it for yourself, sort of. And one of my favorite things is talking to people who don't get graffiti, because the first thing they say is, like, I don't know why they do it. Like, they're not famous. No one knows who they are. Just a few of their friends know who they are, and they see all these gross tags around the city. And it's like, yeah, but the whole point is not that you're doing it to be famous. You're doing it so you can have your stuff out there, so you can see your stuff like, it's personal accomplishment for you. It doesn't really matter who else likes it or doesn't like it, and that's always the way I look at it. Like, one thing I would never, some people, like, if you look on the channels of, like, Rasco and Rake43 and all them, they can post all their illegal work because they've never shown their face anywhere. Whereas, like, if I posted a video of me doing something illegal, there are entities that document it, and they will have my face associated to something I did, and that's not good. That being said, I do want to have some bottling videos coming. It's just hard to figure out how to do that the right way. Yeah, I don't know how to make these letters look any better. Practice takes time. I'm not gonna learn it in one stream, but eventually. Right now, though, I want to do some throws and some straight letters. I don't know, actually, people could disagree with me, and if you put in the chat, tell me why you guys do graffiti. Like, what is it to you that makes you do graffiti? Because I know some people, like, everyone has a different reason, I guess, but personally, I would say that if you're doing it for fame, try doing something else, because it's not easy to be a famous graffiti artist or anything. Definitely not easy. It's probably one of the hardest things you can be famous for. What kind of stuff do you do, Billy? What kind of art, I mean? Rob, what time is it? For me, it is 5:24 p.m. I am on the East Coast of North America. Doesn't feel like 5:24 because 2 days ago I was in Australia, which is freaking 14-hour time difference. So I feel so messed up right now. You have no idea. But that's okay. I will hopefully not die. Oh, I get it, Billy. Okay. This is a garbage throw. Get it out of my face. I'm redoing that. It's hard to think when you're tired. I mean, everyone knows that, but... Oh yeah, it would be late in Romania. I tried watercolor when I was doing... in the very small amount of formal training I've had. I did some watercolor stuff, and it is freaking hard. Like, it's just so different from every other kind of, like, medium you can be working with. So, I have a lot of respect for people that are good at that. Very difficult. I managed to do a couple, like, landscape-ish pictures with my watercolor stuff, but in general, holy crap. Very difficult. And I mean, obviously, you get better at it as you do more of it. Oh my god, what is this? Screw that, I'm doing a straight letter piece. Yeah, Sumi is definitely something that I would have to think out of the box for, too. Very foreign from what I've done. I've done a little bit of, like, normal pencil and paper sketch drawing, too. But... not I mean, I haven't practiced any other kind of art to consider myself like good at any of it, so it's all stuff I'm impressed by to a large degree. Ooh. If you'll notice, all the best graffiti artists are very good at other kinds of art too. Which I point out specifically because so many people ask me questions like, oh, how do you get good at wild style and whatever and whatever. And it's not like, that's not how you should really be thinking of it a lot of the time. You should be thinking of it in terms of like how an artist would think about a piece. Like, is my flow in this piece working? Does it direct the attention of the viewer to where I need it to go? Like, is my structure balance? Like, you got to consider balance, structure, direction through line, just like so many artistic things. And the best way to learn a lot of that stuff is just by doing other kinds of art, because graffiti is not a type of art where any of those elements are emphasized, yet they're still so important if you're going to be able to make pieces that look good. So I would say a lot of the best graffiti artists are good because they've been taught to think like an artist before doing graffiti or while doing graffiti, learning other kinds of arts and stuff like that. Whereas someone who's strictly a graffiti artist, they haven't been taught to think like anything but a guy using a spray can or a girl using a spray can. So yeah, I like how you say flail the brush around, because that's what it looks like to me. And I know there is technique, but to me it's like, I have no idea how to approach that kind of thing. I was waking up when I did the S, Rob, don't worry. Maybe I'll add a little bit to it. Yeah, there's probably no saving the S. I'm just gonna leave it. Hey, shootout. Not much happening, to be honest. I am permanently asleep right now because of how tired I feel from all my flights in the past couple days. We did a lot of tags earlier. I'm trying to do some straight letter pieces. My sticker supply is a little bit deplenished from sending some packs out, which is always nice. It sucks to be like in a situation where if people order a bunch of stickers, all of a sudden I would have to like sit down for a few hours and make them all, but at the same time it's nice when people are interested in my stuff, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm doing some straights right now. I shouldn't say straight letters, should be just style in this, just some simple styles. Call it that. Shootout, I do not really trade anymore. I traded for years and years, and it got to be a little much for me. So nowadays I just sell my packs. I do $5 for, or no, I do $7 for 50 stickers. I used to do $5, but then the price of postage went up, so I have to do 7 now just to make anything. But yeah, 7 for 50, or 10 for 50, and it would include some wild style stuff in there too. But yeah, trading was really nice. I loved getting other artist work, but it got to be that I couldn't really afford it time-wise, because it does take up a lot of time. Rob, the Crink 4-ounce mop I've never actually used. As I said, the only reason I would buy Crink stuff is to review, and I've been totally satisfied using Genobo mops, Grog mops, and they're a lot less pricey, so I just use them, stick to them. Getting blackness all over my hands, that's okay. In the future I may review the Crink 4-ounce mop, I don't know. If it gets requested a lot on my channel. Usually what happens is I just review all the things that are, like, that get requested most of the time. So if I have 5 people requesting something, I'm gonna review it. A lot of people had requested that I do reviews of the Dalo markers, so I quickly scooped that up and reviewed it. Or dripper. Which one? I've used the Molotov dripstick. I like the Molotov dripstick a lot. One thing that dripsticks in general, I'm not huge on, because a lot of times I do like sort of vertical tags or diagonal downwards tags, and drips look really bad in anything that's where the letters are under each other, but in terms of just normally drip stuff, they're really fun. I like dripsticks in general. Need a good outline color, a nice vibrant outline color. See if I've used this green yet. Oh, is this not gonna work for me? Ah, that's all dried out. Gotta fix that at some point. I'm not up to it right now. That's one thing I don't like about these Molotovs. It seems like if you, often enough, if you leave them sitting, they're gonna dry out. Oh, I haven't even used this one. I don't want to open that. Just for a little sticker. If I'm gonna start, like, juice up a nib for a Molotov marker, I better be using it for more than like an hour. Nice. This is a good one. My hands are really sticking to this sticker. I made the mistake of going to the gym earlier while I'm exhausted. Everything felt hard. It was the worst. It didn't help either because there's this guy right beside, I was doing deadlifts, and there's this guy right beside me attempting to deadlift 500. And I'm like, dude, I'm sitting over there with my like 1.5 plates because I'm exhausted and I didn't want to try anything heavy. And he's sitting there with 5 plates and a little 5-pound on there as well to make the 500. I'm like, you're making me look so bad right now. But after so much traveling, I shouldn't have even gone in the first place, so I was totally happy sitting there doing nothing. Nothing impressive. Uni paints, I've only used them in a friend's book. They were nice, actually. I do like them. I haven't used them enough to give like an official opinion on them, I don't think. But they were my friend's go-to option. And if he likes them that much, then I would assume they're pretty damn good, because he's very particular about his stuff. My hand is so shaky. I have never been this exhausted in my life. I know I'm complaining about it constantly, but you try staying up for 70 hours. I had to do 4 different flights, okay? And the longest flight I did was only 13 hours. But I was in a middle seat, so there was someone at the window seat, then me, then someone in the aisle seat for that one. And I was only, the guy on my one side was pretty big, so he was taking up a little bit of my seat, and that was very irritating. And he was also asleep most of the time, so being that I'm a nice guy, I didn't really want to wake him up and be like, get the fuck out of my way. But my seat would not recline also, it was broken. So that was not a successful journey, in that I did not sleep. I had planned to sleep the whole time, pretty much. I'm like, okay, this will be my sleep time, and then that didn't happen, and after that it was other flights. Billy, I was in Australia for a couple weeks. Sort of a vacation. I also tried to do some painting over there, which there will be a video of. I'm excited for that to come out, because everyone will be shocked in a way. Some interesting stuff went down. Stuff that, yeah, I'm not even gonna say anything about it. Wait for the video, it'll be soon. Oof, I'm smudging stuff like an amateur. Nice, you back. Good to see you. Notice how this time I remembered how to say your name. I'm very proud of that. It only took me like 8 tries to remember it, but you know. Ooh. So I'm gonna add some white highlights on this after, I think. I think that'll be a good contribution. A general rule that I follow is, in almost any piece, you're safe if you add white highlights. It's one of those things that just almost never looks bad if you know how to do a halfway decent highlight. So I do a lot of that. And since white is going to contrast more than like almost any other color you put in a fill-in, almost no matter what color the fill-in is, it's safe all the time, and it's very neutral, you know, like, even on a fairly bright color already, it's gonna look bright enough, so it stands out nicely, you know. Yeah, Rob, usually at the end of the stream I do a roll call, get everyone's names on a sticker. I'll do that then. Where's my white? Oh, I only have my... Oh, I don't want to highlight with this. It's going to ruin everything. This just spurts white out. So I end up getting some really messy highlights with this. That's okay though. Since I know it just vomits everywhere, I can be a little bit careful. Once you know, it's not a big deal, but as you can tell, it's taking up a bit of my concentration. Too many times I've used this on accident and it's just left a blob of whiteness in the middle of my piece. Or it also takes 10 years to dry, so if you happen to touch the letter on your piece within like an hour after you put it down, you're gonna smudge everything. Also not desirable. Something that makes me angry like nothing else. I was having a debate the other day. I wanted to ask, I said I would ask on my stream, and I was having a debate with people about how often is normal to paint. Yeah, Daniel, I'll do your tag at the end when I do my roll call. But yeah, anyway, question was, how often do I paint? So I said, like, I pick up a spray can once a week, right? Because time. And they were saying that, oh shit. Damn it. Sorry, I gotta get that exclusive opportunity to see under my desk right now, where I keep all my stickers and prints and all that. But yeah, they were saying that most writers probably paint like 3-4 times a week, and I'm like, dude, that's too much. Like, but then I was thinking about it, and I come from, when I think of painting, I mean like do a piece. And the guy I was talking to, he probably meant like if you go out bombing 4 times a week or something like that. But let me know in the chat how often you guys would say it's normal to go out and paint, or just to paint. Like, how often do you pick up a spray can? That's what I want to know. Alright, Nace. Yeah, 5 hours is not a lot to sleep, so go get that sleep. It's painful being awake for long periods of time. Can't believe I'm being this ghetto, but I'm using a red pen to do this highlight. Oops, I'm also not being very accurate with it. Making myself look dumb again, you know. It's also not great to be using fine liner when my hands are this shaky right now. But it's okay. I'll deal with it. Also trying to make a few of these pink lines a little more opaque. Generally, molotos are pretty opaque too. Rob, you were asking that a little while ago, like what I think of molotos. And one thing I like about this, the Wonderfalls is they are opaque. Like, pink is a light color, and this did really good without even, like, pumping it at all for the most part. Yeah, Dylan, at the end of the video, or at the end of the stream, I'll do a roll call, and I'll put everyone's names up on a sticker. That's probably gonna be in like, oh shit, that's gonna be in like 2 minutes. Because I am almost at my maximum time. So I'm gonna throw these highlights on, then we're gonna do a roll call. In case any of you don't know, my streams end at 1 hour and 3 minutes because YouTube will not let me stream longer because they're a bunch of bitches. So now you're gonna see sloppy marks from my highlights because I'm going fast. Nice. Sacrificing a little bit of quality here for time's sake. I will end up doing I think a green outline in the background there, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. Forgot this little part. Looks a little more accurate. Alright, time for a roll call. Thank you, Daniel. How much money is a striker, Rob? Like an Iron Lac striker? They're pretty expensive. I used them, and honestly, I hated them. They dried out after, like, a couple months. And, like, some of the colors I only used once or twice. So that was, like, garbage. Okay, roll call. So, Daniel and Dylan, you asked for a name. Who else here? Yeah, Rob, you wanted me to, too. Everybody put their name down. I'm gonna throw it up. Funny story about the name Daniel. I had a commission the one time with the name Daniel, and I freaking spelled it wrong on, like, the first half of the stickers I did. For some reason, I was an idiot and reversed the I and the E, and so luckily I caught it, but I'm like, dude, I was so mad at myself. So we got Daniel, Dylan, yep, got Dylan, then I'll do Roke. Billy is, yeah, double L, B, not the best tag. I'll still do it, though. I'll do it. I'm making a mess of this one, too, sorry. Roke, right? Is that what I'm doing? R-O-K-E. I'm not gonna do it on the line there, that'll... That was weird. I tried to do this line and my marker hit my GoPro. So, he's a little wonky now because of that. So we got Roke, we got Dylan, we got Daniel. Alright, I'm gonna attempt a Billy here. Yeah, I don't know. Double L is not ideal, you're right, but almost any double letter in graph looks sort of strange. That's my attempt, though. It's not halfway as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but also isn't great. That Dylan, though, is not great, so I'm gonna redo the Dylan one. I'll use the back of this sticker. That one's got a little more flow to it. But, my stream's gonna get cut off in a little quick minute, so I'm gonna bounce. But I'm gonna have a Wild Style Wednesday stream, this Wednesday evening coming up. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. More videos coming in the next couple of days as well. Look out for those. Look out for my Melbourne painting video. Thanks, Billy. I will get some rest. Thanks to everyone tuning in. Billy, Daniel, Rob, Dylan. Nace, you're gone, I think. But yeah. Peace.